I used to love Disney when I was a little girl. I had every lunchbox, water bottle, backpack, and notebook with Mickey's face on it that I could get my 6-year-old hands on. I would doodle the clubhouse characters during class, and I would ask to go to Disney World every year for my birthday. My family wasn't the wealthiest, so the answer was usually no. My dad would work overtime, and my mom worked 2 jobs, so I would spend a lot of time at home alone. I would sit on the couch and watch reruns of my favorite shows and movies until I passed out, and I would always wake up tucked into my bed. It was to my surprise that after asking to go again for my 7th birthday, they finally said yes. My dad had gotten a big promotion, and they combined the bonus that he received with money that they'd been saving up just for this occasion. My parents have helped me so much in my life, but there aren't many other times that I can remember feeling as much love for them as I did when I opened my birthday card and saw a Disney World brochure. I couldn't wait to go. Unfortunately, I had to wait another 2 weeks for the upcoming long weekend. I couldn't focus in school that entire time. I was too busy thinking about all the rides and characters that I'd get to see. I woke up early Friday morning with enough energy to fly through the ceiling. My parents had been up packing, so the car was already ready by the time I had finished my breakfast. We hopped in and set off for Disney. The park was around 4 hours from our house in Tallahassee, so we left early to have time to explore the parks for the day. It was around 4 a.m., and the streets were pitch black. The drive was mostly uneventful, and I used my portable CD player to watch old Disney movies that my mom kept lying around. I was halfway through Cinderella when we stopped for gas. The rest stop was pretty dingy. There were some gas pumps for cars and diesel for the trucks, as well as a gift shop for snacks and drinks. The gift shop was quite big, filled with rows of junk food and medicine. I went in with my mom while my dad stayed with the car. While we were shopping, I saw a Mickey-shaped cup and ran to grab it, and when I turned around, my mom was gone. I started to panic. I ran through the aisles, calling for her. After a few frantic turns, I ran into something hard and fell on my back. When I looked up, a large man with a gray beard and rough skin was staring down at me. "Hey there, Missy. You lost?" he asked me. I was frozen in fright at the size of the man. He towered over the aisle, his width taking up the entire space in front of me. He reached his hand out, and I scrambled back down the aisle. I was running now, not daring to look back at the frightening stranger. I turned the corner and ran straight into my mom. I hugged her tight, crying. She stroked my hair and comforted me, but my sense of safety was quickly broken when the man approached us. "Be careful with her, hon. Don't want a kid getting lost around here." My mom muttered a reply that I couldn't hear through my own sobbing. The man eventually left, and my mom carried me back to the car. My dad was worried, but my mom reassured him that it was just a small accident. The next hour was quiet, and I quickly forgot my fear from the gas station when I thought about Disney again. I drifted off with thoughts of cotton candy and Mickey ears. I woke up to a hushed conversation between my parents. They were talking in short, clipped sentences, and their tone made my heart start to race. The inside of the car was filled with harsh light. I looked out of the rear window to see a black car driving closely behind us, brights on. My parents were raising their tones now, and I looked past them to see a large trailer in front of our car. The semi-truck had its rear lights on, and it looked like it was slowing down to meet us. We were driving down a 2-lane highway in the middle of a swampy area, and the road dropped into a thick mud on both sides. My mom was telling my dad to get over and pass the truck, but another car quickly sped up from behind the black car and pulled up to our left side, blocking us in. The windows were tinted black, and I couldn't get a good look at who was in it. I did see silhouettes, though. The car was full. "Daddy, who are those people?" I asked innocently. My dad turned around to face me, and there was a look of sheer panic on his face. He quickly hushed me and turned back around. In front of us, the trailer doors unlatched. They swung open, revealing a single man standing inside the empty trailer. He was wearing jeans and a work jacket, and his face was covered in a black balaclava. He quickly rushed to the back of the trailer, then bent over and pushed something along the ground. Something appeared over the edge of the trailer, and after a few moments of pushing, a ramp slammed to the pavement, sending up sparks that made it hard to see in front of us. Something hit hard against the back of our car, and I jolted in my seat. By this point, I was overwhelmed. I started crying, scared for my life. Who were these people? What do they want with us? I turned back to see the black car behind us pushing our car forward. The car to our left turned closer to us, pinning us against the 15-foot drop into the mud below. My dad slammed on the brakes, pushing me forward. The car screeched in defiance of the pushing, but our car was old, and I could feel us moving forward. My mom was crying too, pleading with my dad to turn into the mud. "We'll be stuck, Maggie," he howled. "Nothing to stop them from grabbing us." I could hear the frustration in my dad's voice. He was gritting his teeth, still keeping pressure on the brake. Sunlight was just starting to come out, and I could see in our right that the mud was steadily turning into grass. "Daddy, look," I said, pointing out the window. An exit sign flew past our view. Our front fender scraped against the ramp, wheels not yet making contact. In an instant, a turn of road opened on our right, and my dad veered off of the ramp, barely making the exit. We sped off of the highway. The group was still going, and I could see their cars more clearly from farther away. I could see the man in the trailer sticking his head out, looking at us. There were gray specks of hair poking through his balaclava. We spent the rest of the day in the hotel, with my parents talking to the police about our encounter. I was shaken up by the event, but I was mostly sad to miss Disney for the day. We ended up going the next day though, and I remember that weekend fondly. I'm 16 now, and not many birthdays have topped that one. I don't know who those people were or what they wanted with us. I'm just getting my driver's license, and despite everything I've learned from driver's ed, there's one thing that they didn't teach us. Never drive behind a semi.